Media Group.
13 has been my lucky number for a while. Like, it's always a sign of good things to come for me.
This is 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast, breaking down every song, every Easter egg, every era, and every theory. Hosted by the biggest Swifties, Nick Adams, Anna Szabo, Amy Nichols, and Lacey G.
Welcome to 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. I'm Nick Adams.
I'm Anna.
Amy. And I'm Lacey G.
And today we are breaking down
The last
the
one.
final song in the Tortured Poets department.
I'm going to cry.
It's very sad. This has been a long time coming.
31 weeks, actually.
Long time coming, but
It's you and me.
And so while, yes, it's sad, but there's also something kind of fun and positive because we have a special guest in our studio today.
We do. We have a special guest. Everybody, please give a warm welcome to our, I guess, would you say part-time intern?
Yeah.
Part-time intern, Saahir.
welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So this is really cool. So Saahir, we actually met at our Swifties in the Park event last year, and he wrote a paper about the whole experience, right? I guess you can share your 13 podcast journey with us if you don't mind.
Yeah, so I actually found the podcast through the Swifties in the Park event. My friend just found it and was like, we should all go. And so me and like 3 of my closest friends came, which actually, when we're recording this, tomorrow is I think the 1-year anniversary of it.
Of the event?
Yeah. I was like looking back and I was like, it's already been a year and it's crazy. 1 year ago, what I was doing and now
That's
a year later. But yeah, and then I realized, we're a podcast and I love podcasts. Like every day I have a podcast that comes out and I will listen to it on like my way to school and just like driving around. So found y'all, obsessed, obviously. And then, yeah, so the last ever story that went out at my school's newspaper last year was like a mini feature over y'all and just like of the event in general, because I thought it was, our school also has a lot of Swifties and like I thought it was a great event to highlight and also just like get y'all's podcast out to our school's community.
Spreading the word.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
He's been working for us this whole time.
I know. I know Swifties. I know who I need to talk about this with. That's so incredible.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Of course. And then a couple of weeks ago, found out that it won an award at like one of our journalism conventions.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
The story won an award?
Yeah.
What was the award?
It's like, just like we submit them for categories. And so our advisor is great in that he lets us like submit, like tell him which stories of ours we would like to submit. So I was really proud of that story. I thought it was like one of my favorite pieces I've ever written because as like a journalist, y'all know this because y'all have worked in journalism for so many years, but like when you're passionate about something, you can tell and it's so much easier to write. So when I submitted that, I just like loved the story. So I submitted it. And then he came back from like one of our spring conventions and he was like, oh, it won an award. And I was like, well, that's crazy. So then messaged like the Instagram account. And then I was like, you know what? Let me just ask. And I was like, could I like be y'all's intern? Like I feel like there's no like other way to put it, but I was just like, let me put myself out there because if I don't, I'll regret it. And I'm graduating this spring, so like I'll have my full summer free, no stresses. And then y'all were gracious enough to say yes, and now I'm here.
Absolutely. No, it's I think poetic that it was 1 year ago today that we had or 1 year ago tomorrow that you had our event, and it's like a very full circle moment, and I feel like it's very poetic, not just for you to be here on that anniversary, but also to be here for our Manuscript episode.
Absolutely.
Like the last song on the Tortured Poets department, like super cool. But yeah, you reached out and immediately we were like, absolutely, like this is so cool. I have so much respect for you just shooting your shot like that. I think that's awesome. And we just love the community that we've built with the podcast with the Swifties, and we want to do anything that we can to help, you know, uplift anybody, like any opportunity that we have. And so it was interesting because just the way that our schedules work lately, we're like, well, we kind of only record every so often, but come and join us, like sit in on our next recording session. You can learn everything. You can ask all the questions you want. And then we were like, do you want to just be on the episodes? And you were like, yeah, for sure. Absolutely. We're like, we're not just going to like put you in another room, you know, and be like, okay, yeah, watch from like over there. That would be weird. So we're so excited that you're here.
Thank you so
And
much.
kudos for shooting your shot and
Yeah.
asking. Everybody should most definitely do that. And I'm so proud of you for winning an award for the article that you wrote. However, we're glossing over the fact that he won at our event.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. You were the
yeah.
Was it the spelling bee?
Yeah, it was a spelling bee, and then the tiebreaker was like, finish the lyric because y'all ran out of words. And if I'm not wrong, I think the song was Speak Now. And the lyrics I had to say was horrified looks from everyone in the room.
Yeah, I remember that. Oh my gosh. That's awesome. So we have an award-winning writer sitting in with us.
That's
you guys.
right.
Wow.
And-
That, no
I'm a little
pressure.
nervous.
And while we're giving Saahir all of his props for shooting his shot, he's also doing that as a kid in high school. So, like, he's not an adult that's putting himself out there. He's a kid that's putting himself out there. So this is really cool. This is great. I applaud that.
He is a
You have
kid,
a lot
but
of
he's
guts.
taller than all of us.
Taller than all of us,
True.
which is why he has to sit down to be on camera.
you're in high school?
Yes.
I'm very sorry for everything that I've said today
You're-
so far.
You know what?
Not on the podcast.
He's
on the
graduating.
podcast.
He's graduating.
Okay.
And also, that's tame compared to the things that I've heard.
In
So-
high
That's
school.
same compared to high school.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit leveled up from a high schooler. I don't know. My maturity level's
You
still
could-
way down there.
You could pull a, what movie is it? 21 Jump Street? And go back to high school.
I was thinking Billy Madison. See, that shows my age.
Oh, I love
Versus
Billy
Anna's age.
Madison.
I've never seen Billy Madison.
I know, exactly.
Oh,
That
but
hurts.
You know what I just watched? What? We don't have to talk about this.
Forrest
We're
Gump.
going off the rails. No, The Matrix.
Oh my God, for the
Oh.
first
Good.
For the
time?
very first time, yeah.
Okay, we have to talk later.
Yeah, but that'll be for a separate episode. Because we're here to talk about the manuscript.
The manuscript. It's been a long time. Like, I kind of felt like we would never get to this point.
I know.
You know how it's like the school year is so far away from being over, and then all of a sudden it's over? Mm-hmm. What?
Yeah, well, we realized in our last episode, I think, or recently, that we started our tortured post department era in July. And now it's April, about to be May. Like, this is insane. This is such an era, I guess. And then we're going to get into our final rankings where we can really talk about, you know, what we were feeling at first and what we were feeling now and things like that. But I genuinely never thought we would see this day. This is weird.
Well, I do think it is fitting that the very last song on the Tortured Poets and Department anthology was just written by Taylor herself. Mm-hmm. It's a nice, subtle song. It's not real loud or in your face or anything like that. It's just kind of a nice little bow at the end of this
And-
31 tracks.
Right, 31, which
Mm-hmm.
is her favorite number backwards.
Love.
Oh my God. I love those little things.
I know. And I do think, like, I feel like the song is just very reflective, both on the album, like the entire body of work, but also her career, the Eras tour, like just kind of, I don't know. It's just, it took me a while. I mean, like we've said every single time we break down a song, it's like there's 31 songs. So it kind of like, it takes a little bit to digest everything. But I think it took me a while to really understand what she was saying in this song. Or did you guys get it right off the bat?
No.
No, it took me a minute.
I mean, if we're reflecting now on when we listened to this for the first time together, it was so late and we had no idea that we were going to get a whole second album. I was out of it. There's no way I grasped.
You didn't absorb
No,
much.
no.
Especially, it was like 3 a.m. It's kind of a slower song, and it's right after Robin, which is slower. So I think
Slowest?
we were just kind of like, okay, we'll have to look into this later.
The first time I heard it with you all, I clutched my pearls in panic as she said, "But the story isn't mine anymore." And I said, she's retiring. This is it. And then for a little bit during the Eras tour, it seemed like she was saying goodbye in some of her speeches and stuff, and people were speculating then that this is it. And since then, she's on the Eras tour. She kept saying, "Oh, I'm going to be back here. I'm going to be back here." So then that negated all of that because she wouldn't tease us that she's going to come back if she's going to retire. But that was my first thought.
I don't think she'll ever like retire. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I think in a normal career, like, yes, you can say that, like, oh, I'm retiring, but I don't think Taylor Swift will ever stop creating art.
Right.
You
she
know?
might not be a pop star in the
Yeah.
future, but she'll still, like you said, I don't need to repeat it.
Yeah.
Do art.
But like, but as like, even like as a pop star, like even if she doesn't have current plans to tour again, I don't think she would say that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think she would put out some sort of statement that's like, hey, thanks for everything. Later. You know? Like, I just don't see her doing that. I see her taking breaks, kind of like she is now, you know? But she's such a creative mind that I don't know. I guess I never thought that. I heard the line, like, the story isn't mine anymore, but I didn't take that as like a, see you later.
Oh, I sheer panicked at 3 a.m. in the morning with no sleep. I was like, oh no, I know what she's saying here, but fortunately not. And now it's rumored 2026 concert tickets at the Kentucky Derby.
Oh my God.
Are we believing that?
No, they flat out said, like, sorry.
I thought they said it's not for 2026. It's for her next show. But then from what I've seen on TikTok, like they have ties to the Kentucky Derby. Travis put in a lot of money on a horse last year, some Swift something. So people are speculating, are they going to go to the Kentucky Derby? Is she going to wear something at the Kentucky Derby to announce next era, next whatever?
I don't even know what it is.
We'll
Soon.
see.
It's coming up shortly.
Okay.
Where is it?
It's in Kentucky.
I know. I know.
That reminds me of one time we were up here at work and one of our interns asked me what night Saturday Night Live was on.
It was Alicia. You can say.
Wait, okay.
No,
okay.
it wasn't her. It wasn't Alicia.
I thought it was Alicia.
I don't think it was.
I think it was.
I think it was.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it was. Alicia's the girl that does the intros.
Alicia does the intros for the podcast. Yeah.
13. So, should we get into the manuscript?
Yes, absolutely. Saahir, what are your initial thoughts on the manuscript?
I think the first thing that I realized when I listened to it, it's very haunting.
Mm.
Like, I don't know, for some reason, like the opening chords, I'm not a music nerd, but like, I don't know if they're in like a minor key or something. I don't know what it is, but they like the first time I listened to it, I actually got chills.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, I understand where it could seem like the end, but knowing that, like, I feel like Taylor's always said, I'm always going to write. Whether or not I'm, you know, she doesn't have any expectation to do Eras tours back to back, of course. Like, that's way too much, as, of course, she's now hopefully found love with Travis and, like, starting to kind of allow herself to be just Taylor and not Taylor Swift trademark.
Mm-hmm.
I think she'll, like, maybe not be as active, but I do see her still creating. I do think the manuscript, in what I've researched, is like a very direct reference to like specifically All 10 Well.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that was like after Red came out and she like just said that it existed and how like the fans have basically harassed her for years. And now she gave it to us. And now I feel like she's like, that chapter of my life, all of my past, like, I don't know if she means before the re-records, like everything that Big Machine owned. I don't know exactly what, but I do know that I feel like she's parting with like a past version of herself and allowing this like new, evolved, whether she knows what that is or not, to like infiltrate her life and kind of allow her to kind of go on autopilot.
Yeah.
I don't know if that
Yeah.
like, makes sense.
Definitely.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
And I love that you started off with the chords at the beginning, because there's either 11 or 12.
She starts on the 11th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's supposed to signify like closing out all of her eras, that she is now moving on.
Yeah, like if you know how like it starts like boom, boom, like if there's 10. That was a really good. That was my impression of a piano.
We're going to get flagged for playing the real music.
No, make an edit, Juliana. No, I'm just kidding. Don't take that out. But yeah, it's 10 notes, and then on the 11th note is when she starts singing. I thought about that too, and I counted on the way into the studio today. Yeah.
Saahir, I do like that you mentioned the music in the beginning and just kind of the subdued nature of this song. I think it definitely fits with the aesthetic of the album.
Yeah.
The black
Yes.
and white, I don't know, the almost melancholy look and vibe of a lot of the imagery of this album really fits in there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if you consider that Taylor Swift likes to end on a particular song, and that kind of ushers us into the new era, then what is the manuscript saying? Because we looked at it again on the first anthology as she's closing out with Clara Bow movies. Is that what the next era is going to be? But then now the manuscript. So I don't know what this could mean.
A manuscript is for film and theater. That's what you're handed as someone who's working on the piece. Is that what you mean?
Well, about what this means for the next era, if this is the final closing out of the song. Also, manuscript is supposed to be handwritten, specifically not typed, typewriter, anything. So this still isn't really the manuscript from her because it's not something handwritten. She's starting the manuscript in the Tortured Poets department with that damn typewriter.
I will say, I think you bring up an interesting point because, if the final line of this entire album is, the story isn't mine anymore, and you're like, okay, so how does that lead into the next era? I do think it's important to note that the Tortured Poets department is the only album of hers that has an epilogue as opposed to a prologue written by her. And so if you take the song, The Manuscript, for what it is, the story isn't mine anymore, and it closes out the body of work, then the epilogue starts with, at this hearing I stand before my fellow members, where it's she's presenting it. You know what I mean? It's almost like she's presenting the manuscript of the entire project to us. It kind of not breaks the fourth wall. That's not entirely what it is, but it kind of takes it out of okay, I created this body of work and I'm presenting it to you, as opposed to in her other albums where it's hey, let me tell you what you're about to hear. Instead, in this one, it's let me tell you about everything you just heard. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Let's get into some lyrics. She starts off by saying, now and then she rereads the manuscript of the entire torrid affair.
So I wonder, we know that she was writing this album while she was on the Eras tour, right? And so I feel what she's saying when she's rereading the manuscript, the entire torrid affair, I almost feel like the affair, quote unquote, could be a combination of the Eras tour with the Taylor's Versions project, because Taylor has spent the last few years of her life revisiting all of her past stories, right, by re-recording all of it, but not just internally with herself, but she's also working with everybody that helped her the first time, all the producers, all the music engineers, all the musicians, and all of that. So I think it's not just her personally looking back on the things that I was writing about, but it's been this entire journey of revisiting all of her old eras, performing them with different crowds every night, performing them with her band and everything. And it's that's got to be such a mind-boggling thing to revisit.
Absolutely.
Well, to perform Lover night after night, knowing that her relationship was over, but we don't know that.
Yeah.
And her to present it every time these are going to be your memories. I might have written this song for this, but now you're going to walk away remembering this. But how hard is that? I know you can detach and just kind of go into I don't know.
Compartmentalize?
That one.
Yeah. Go into autopilot, I guess. But still to perform that song night after night, knowing when she wrote it, that was her intentions. She was a completely different person then, or had different thoughts and outlooks, and then life happens and life be lifing. But
and what is torrid? Torrid is full of difficulty or tribulation. So she's rereading this manuscript of a time that was really, really hard.
Yeah. I also think it's important to note that at the beginning of the song, she's talking in third person.
Yes. She. Every now and then she rereads
the manuscript. So she's kind of distancing herself in that kind of way.
I think that kind of connects to at least what I found. I think it's really interesting that she says now and then, because it's not I don't know, for some reason when I think now and then it's read a couple pages and come back.
Yeah.
Take a little break because it's too much. And so what I thought could be a potential because it's a manuscript. I was like, what films has she done? She's in Cats, but I don't think I don't think this is about Cats.
I like to think that she every now and then rereads the manuscript of Cats.
And if she does, and she's happy, good for her. But I kind of saw it as looking back at All Too Well.
Yes.
And like rereading the manuscript of the entire Tord affair. So like it was hard. It wasn't something that could just be like forgotten by her. And you know, she said that just because it was like a 2-month relationship doesn't mean it didn't bring her pain. And I think All Too Well was like arguably one of her first songs that really showed and gave us like insight into the direct things that happened in the relationship that then became like the breaking point. So I think when I was listening to the song, and like I kind of always had All Too Well in the back of my mind, especially because the short film existed. And I thought that like this, because if I'm not wrong, she said that she had been working on the Tortured Poets Department for 2 years, which was prior to Midnights. And before Midnights was Red Taylor's version. So I think this could be written maybe like after the release of Red, as she's like writing for Midnights. Maybe this was supposed to be on Midnights, like the 3 a.m. tracks, but it didn't fit. But she had just recently like finished up Red, maybe promo or whatever. And I think like this kind of, based off the timeline she's mentioned, kind of fits in with like the All Too Well theory.
Yeah, definitely.
And she said, I mean, she used to have a problem performing this song. She was so emotional about this song. And so to revisit that and put out the 10-minute version and the film, I mean, that is just reliving some of her worst moments.
And I got to imagine that, okay, you do All Too Well. That's a tough song to get through, to relive all the time. Then you have this hype about the 10-minute version, like you're saying, Lacey. And then that becomes one of her biggest songs. So then people want that more and more and more and more. And it's just like, was that her intention with putting out the 10-minute version, that it would be like the biggest fan favorite of all time? Like, it's such a crowd pleaser. And it's like, okay, here we go for 10 minutes.
I mean,
100 and some odd times on tour.
Right.
What
and
a legacy to leave.
Exactly. And she recognizes that, though.
Yeah.
You know, she's like, I would rather... I mean, that's a pathological people pleaser, right? It's like, I know that my fans adore this so much, so I will do it. And do you feel like by releasing the 10-minute version and then in the short film, and we'll get into like the parallels with the lyrics moving forward, but I feel like by her doing the short film for All Too Well, it wasn't even just revisiting that relationship, but I think it kind of was a catalyst moment with the way she the way that she carried herself in relationships moving forward.
Yeah.
I mean, she was really young. She dated, you know, older, more famous, egotistical men who had lasting effects on her in terms of how she matured, how she carried herself, how she felt like she could love others, and how she felt she was supposed to be loved. And at such a pivotal age, like through the film, I feel like she's not just saying like, okay, yeah, this is what happened between me and Jake Gyllenhaal, but it's like, no, this is the moment that kind of made a lot of who I am. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. And that comes with the good and the bad.
Right.
Picking the actors that she picked too, to have Sadie Sink being a child actress who's grown up in front of us, and then Dylan O'Brien, like she was very intentional and well thought out with everything.
Yeah.
And there's blue and orange in that music video. If you go back and look, there is blue and orange. She's been bluing and oranging us for a very long time now.
You're correct.
One day we're going to find out. TS12.
I hope TS12 is like in the orange vibe that we're anticipating.
And that'll shut everyone up. Be like, fine, here you go.
Here you go. And call it karma while you're at it.
Yeah.
It is on the man wall twice.
It is.
Mm-hmm. She continues by saying, they compared their licenses. He said, I'm not a donor, but I'd give you my heart if you needed it. Is that too cheesy, Amy?
Oh my God.
Well, compared licenses too. And you have to think of what age she was.
Yeah.
Is that a coy way of letting me check your age? I'm going to look at your license and see if you're an organ donor.
I didn't think of it that way.
Oh, I didn't think
did.
about it that way either. You did?
Yeah.
Are you suggesting Jake's just double checking?
Oh,
I mean,
interesting.
Ugh.
I think it I don't know if it actually happened, but I do think it's a metaphor for their age difference for
Sure.
sure.
I picked up on the age difference, but I didn't think of him being like super creepy
Sleazy.
about it.
I don't know. I just not to get the guys back in this situation, but that's just kind of a thing you do. Like, let me see your driver's license picture. Like,
So I
I
can
don't
get
know.
your, so I can get your
is.
address and do a drive-by later?
No, that's just something that you just do.
I mean, I feel like
without
it-
bad intentions.
It
Sure.
does happen in conversation sometimes.
Yeah.
Not
like,
The
don't
only time I ask for an ID is whenever I need to verify an age. That is it. And I'm speaking personally. I'm speaking bartending. I'm speaking
Yeah, I was gonna
all
say,
of
you
it.
do that. Like,
Yeah.
This is so baffling to me because this entire time I didn't think driver's license, even though it says I'm not a donor, like that makes sense. Absolutely. This whole time I was kind of thinking of like professional licenses. Like, you know, like you need a license
to be a doctor.
to be a doctor. You need a license to like whatever. And like in like entertainment, like you need licenses and permits and things like this to be able to film some stuff. And so this, like, I was like, of course it's a driver's license. Of course it is. But I think I just always interpreted this to just show that she was young and impressionable and she was surrounding herself with people who made themselves out to be better than her. Like, oh, I'm not a donor, but I'll give you my heart if you needed it. You know, like I wouldn't do that. You're special, so you're the exception. Like, I don't know.
And she knew
But everything
he
you're
was
saying
full
is
of
just
it.
definitely making more sense. What?
She knew he was full of it. That's why she's rolling
Yeah.
her eyes.
Yeah, the
Like,
next line,
you're-
just like
yeah.
Amy, she rolled her eyes and said, "You're a professional."
Maybe that's why I thought like professional license.
professional player.
Would y'all say that joke would be considered maybe self-effacing?
Ooh,
As in charming her dad with self-effacing jokes?
Wow.
yes,
Yes, I would say
Because-
yes,
that.
I would.
Because self-effacing is like demeanor characterized by modesty and humility. And he's like, oh, I'm not a donor, but if you needed my heart, kind of what
Exactly.
y'all were touching on, I don't know. I just see all of like the comparison.
For
I think
sure.
It's really interesting.
For sure, and I'm
I
so
think-
glad that you do.
I think Saahir's getting extra credit today
I think so.
I think
For-
so.
for his non-credit giving quasi internship.
Yes.
That was really good. She rolled her eyes and said, "You're a professional." He said, "No, just a good Samaritan."
That's like
So he's still kind of laying it on thick here. Right?
Yeah.
If you're a good person, you don't have to say you're a good person.
True.
That's like the biggest sign. Oh, I'm a good Samaritan. I'm a heart donor. It's
Nail
fine.
on the head, Lacey. Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't have to say it.
Yeah. I think
Words, words, words. I want action. Okay. Sorry.
I think like she's also just he's trying to make it seem like he's above her and she can see that. But she's kind of taking it as a hit and not like as a like hard eyes. Does that make sense? Like
I think so.
But
These-
also she was into him.
that's true.
So
Maybe I'm just mad.
I don't know.
Well, she's into him, but is the facade starting to fade a little bit here? She's starting to see.
I mean, she is looking back.
Yeah,
if
she's
we're
looking
in the
back.
present and she's looking
Is she
back.
looking back and seeing the red flags?
But
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's also telling her what she wants to hear, too.
Yeah.
Because he said if the sex was half as good as the conversation was, soon they'd be pushing strollers.
Yeah.
But soon it was over.
Yeah. Well, that's just kind of saying like she's smart, wise, conversational, but young, right? And ultimately that ended up being one of the biggest issues was the age that she was too young.
Yeah.
She continues by saying, "In the age of him, she wished she was 30. So she wishes she was closer to his age.
Well,
She'd
yeah.
grown up a little bit.
Maybe it would have been fine.
If they were only closer in age.
Mhm.
That
Yeah.
was her fault for being young.
Right. Well, and
There are
like,
so many parallels to All Too Well in this song.
yes.
Goodness.
Yeah. I think just being with older partners made her want to be older also. And if you tie that back to just kind of like the lost childhood innocence that we just touched on in Robin, that was like right before this, it just kind of, it all just ties into this whole dilemma that she's been having with like age and maturity.
Has anyone in the room ever been with someone where there is a decent age gap?
I have not.
I haven't,
I always thought I would, but no.
but no.
I've been with every age, I think.
Yeah?
Legal. Every legal
Well,
age.
you check licenses.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever felt any of these feelings dating someone that's older, like, man, wishing you were of their age and there wasn't such an age gap?
Oh, by all the ages, I really mean
Below.
younger. Yeah. So you would have to ask them. They want to mature and rise up to my level.
I guess it's interesting though, and like not even just in a romantic situationship, but like I have a friend who is 5 years younger than me and like my close friends, and she hangs out with us all the time. And sometimes we forget that she's 5 years younger until we make some reference about something from when we were kids, and she like doesn't get the reference, and we're like, oh my God, yeah, wait, we totally forgot that you're younger. So I'd be curious to ask her like if she feels like, oh, I wish I was their age, or if she's just kind of like, why am I hanging out with this older crowd?
Yeah, did you feel that way when we were talking about Billy Madison earlier?
You know who we can ask? Saahir.
Saahir, have you ever seen Billy Madison?
I have not seen Billy Madison, nor have I seen 21 Jump Street.
Oh, no!
Unfortunately,
What about The Matrix?
I have not seen The Matrix.
Okay,
either.
I just watched that for the first time, so it's
However, I do like my brother is 13 years older than me.
Oh.
So when I heard this, obviously it's a very different relationship, but like I started drinking coffee in middle school because I wanted to be like my older brother. And like the French press line, like all of like as someone who's way younger, and like I would just like be the little 5-year-old when my brother was 18 with his friends. It's very interesting because that a lot of what she's saying is very true. Like you do want to appear older, and again, 5 and 18, I wasn't really doing anything, but like there even now, like my brother's 32, so when I'm hanging out with him, I do try to seem like, instead of dumping sugar into my coffee, I'm now like, oh, I'll just have a black coffee. Like, and like the smallest things like that. And it really is just like, I want us to be on the same page.
Yeah.
So like, I do definitely understand where she's coming from in this sense.
Yeah.
And I think it's really interesting, like how, honestly, I think it's like a universal experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. And that's such a good metaphor too, like just the coffee and the French press. Like that's such a simple but relatable way to put it. And that's interesting that applies to you as well.
I'm a full-on adult, but I do not do black coffee. None
neither.
whatsoever. I need my coffee to not taste like coffee.
Yeah, what is everyone's coffee order? Because this next line that we're referencing is, in the age of him, she wished she was 30 and made coffee every morning in a French press. Afterwards, she only ate kids' cereal and couldn't sleep unless it was in her mother's bed. So what is everyone's coffee order?
I mean, are we talking about like if I go to Starbucks or at home? I mean,
I would say at home because she's at home.
Right.
She's not making a special run.
I only make coffee on the weekends.
Okay.
With the French press, and I do sugar and milk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I also have a French press that I really enjoy, but I add creamer and sugar, and it's basically like, have you seen those pictures of that? It shows the
color?
the different shades of coffee. Like I'm like as sweet as can be.
Yeah, same.
Let's see. I do a vanilla oat milk latte.
That
At
is
home?
not at home.
Yeah, it is at home.
Oh my God.
I mean, you just froth up some oat milk.
He's lactose intolerant.
You just froth up some vanilla oat milk and put
But
it in
he's
your
frothing
coffee.
it.
That's it.
Who's frothing at home?
You don't have a
Nick
frother?
Adams.
No.
Y'all don't have a frother?
No.
I
I
want
do.
one.
Saahir has a frother.
I do.
Wow.
Again, I'm also I'm an iced oat milk latte.
Love iced.
Yeah, it's December and I'll get one hot drink, but other than that, yeah, every morning I have an espresso. So they have like Oatly pods, like the oat milk brand. So I'll have that with oat milk. I actually don't use Oatly oat milk, and then I make like the syrups that they have at like coffee shops.
Yeah.
I make my own at home.
You're so fancy.
Yeah, again, older brother. This
Yeah.
is all like his wife had one time randomly mentioned that she wanted to try lavender syrup in her coffee. And I was like, I'll make it for you. Made it at home about 2 years ago, and I've been doing it
That's
once a
nuts.
month.
Wow.
I have like a day where I make my syrups at home. So I have, every day lavender oat milk latte.
Wow. That's
All
beautiful.
right, Mr. Intern,
Yes.
next time you come, we need some of this coffee.
I was gonna make. I'm assuming y'all have had them. I was gonna make y'all chai sugar cookies.
Really? Like
But then-
Taylor's recipe?
Yeah, because my friends, I really hope they're not listening. They're obsessed with them.
They should be.
I make them at least once every 2 months.
I love that.
Wow.
They literally texted me because I was mentioning that I was gonna make some for y'all, and I was like, of course I'll make some for them. They literally texted me last night, where are the cookies?
That's impressive, too, because I tried following her recipe one time, and my cookies did not turn out very well. But I'm also not skilled in the kitchen. So
after this coffee line, she says, afterwards, she only ate kids' cereal. So she's trying to impress him by drinking this mature, older person's coffee from a French press, but then she's going to eat her Lucky Charms afterwards.
Retreated to childhood and innocence afterwards because it wrecked her.
Well, yeah, it was more comfortable.
I almost feel like you could even argue and say that it was a bit of a trauma response.
Yeah.
You know, to revert back to those childhood tendencies. Like, okay, I went from drinking coffee in a French press, but after I got my heart broken and all of this happened, I'd only ate kids' cereal and couldn't sleep unless it was in her mother's bed. Like, it's a bit of a trauma response.
Mm-hmm.
Then she dated boys who were her own age with dartboards on the backs of their doors. That's so true.
Yeah.
Saahir, do you have a dartboard in your room?
I do not. I did. When I was in middle school, I did. Now it's just Taylor vinyls.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
as it should be. But so, like, what age would that be, the dartboards on the back of their doors? Because I feel like that can kind of range from, like, 15 to 25.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's someone like senior in high school to
college.
mid-20s after college.
Yeah.
Which just so happens to be the ages of the two people she dated after Jake.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Also, I have a dartboard. Just to be clear.
Why didn't we ask?
In
Well,
my
it's
game
for all those
room,
younger boys that are coming over, Lacey.
I have
Why didn't we ask?
I have a dartboard, and it's just hanging up on my wall, and
Is
I'm
it in
not
the-
good at it in my game room.
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
that where the clown art is, too?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. But I always miss, and there's little dart holes all over that wall. But my friend's a painter, so I'm like, you can
Perfect.
just fill it up sometime. But yeah, in the meantime, I just blindly throw darts and miss, and I have to make my dog move because it'll have a bounce back, and he wants to sit right there, and I'm like, I'm gonna stab you one day on accident, so I have to make him move because I'm not good at throwing darts.
She thought about how he said, since she was so wise beyond her years, everything had been above board. She wasn't sure.
I feel like that is just a more mature way of saying the lyric from All Too Well, 10 Minutes, where she says, you said that if we'd been closer in age, maybe it would have been fine, and that made me want to die. Like, I feel like it's the same sentiment, but she worded it in a more reflective way this time, as opposed to a more in-the-moment way during All Too Well.
I love that.
She's saying she wasn't sure. She wasn't sure. He's telling her the truth in that moment.
She's
or-
questioning herself.
Everything.
He's
Yeah.
you're so wise beyond your. Am I? Because why didn't this work out? If we were closer in age, you said it would have been fine.
And also, like, is everything my fault? Right? Like, that's what she was kind of led to believe. Were you going to say something, Saahir? I feel like you were about to say something.
I just had hindsight is 20/20. Like,
Yeah.
it's a very I also think that ties back to kind of how you were mentioning like more professional licenses, because she says like above board, and no one really says that in like a personal manner. I think she is really like y'all mentioned compartmentalizing.
It's a hard word.
Yeah, and she's really trying to like separate each part and like put them into different categories, so she can be like, I can individually tackle all of these things and then make peace with it.
To the bridge.
Yeah, and this is kind of where it starts to speed up. Oh, somebody messaged us, by the way, that every time we say to the bridge, it reminds them of the Justin Timberlake song in Sexy Back.
Take it to the bridge.
Yeah.
I don't want that as the clip.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
I'm
we're
going
not-
to put my foot down on that.
No, we're not. But it reminded them
Okay.
of
Yeah, yeah.
that.
Okay.
They didn't say we need to use that. They said
Okay.
it reminds
Yeah.
me of.
Okay.
I agree with
No.
all parties. I agree it reminds us of that. I agree we should not use it.
I just like Nick saying it every time.
I do too.
Take it to the bridge.
Oh no, say it the
Not
other
like
way.
that.
Take it to the bridge.
No, the way you've been saying it. To the bridge.
Oh, to the bridge. I don't know why. In my head, there has to be SpongeBob saying that. I don't know what it is, but there's got to be. All right. She says, in the years past, like scenes of a show, the professor said to write what you know. And Saahir, were you mentioning it earlier when you were talking about writing your article for your school
Passion.
paper. If you're passionate about what you're writing about, it comes through and people can see that and feel that. Write about what you know.
Yeah, and I feel like that's a very standard piece of writing advice.
Yeah.
Write what you know. But I feel like the years pass. We see the years pass during the Eras tour, right? Like visually, sonically, we see all of that. And then the scenes also pass in the All Too Well short film. So I feel like this is right where we're about to start hitting like the actual references to the short film.
When she says the professor said to write what you know, is that her speaking about a mentor, someone she looks up to in the industry, someone who's giving her advice on what to do with her career and her artistry, and they just say write what you know, and what she knows is heartbreak?
Dang, that's a really good question.
You know, obviously it's someone she's looking up to who knows more than her, and they just say write what you know.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I think in general, you know, like.
Which, you know, a lot of people, one of the criticisms is, oh, she only writes about breakup songs and stuff like that. And it's like, well, she's had some bad ones, and that's what she knows. She knows heartbreak.
And then she even said in the epilogue, it's the worst men that I write best.
Ah, yeah.
So there's the tie-in.
Mm-hmm.
But question, she's Dr. Taylor Allison Swift. Did she go to school for that, or was that just something that was given to her?
I think it was honorary.
They
Yeah.
just gave it to her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know if through all of that, she has the bird cages, she has all the books, if like she was doing some reflection during that time.
I'm quite very possible, you know, like I also feel like we've heard when she was writing Fearless, I think some of her collaborators and stuff had also said that like she would just come in like full of ideas and they would help her, you know, like hone it in and stuff like that. So it's like, I think even if she's reflecting back to her younger age, you know, and it's like in my songwriting, I have all these feelings, all these emotions I need to put on paper. And the advice was, well, write what you know, you know?
Looking backwards might be the only way to move forward. I feel like that's true a lot of times.
Yes, I agree.
I mean, that's why we teach history.
Oh, very true. Looking backwards might be the only way to move forward. Then the actors were hitting their marks, and the slow dance was all right with the sparks.
Do you think, like, that must have been so crazy for her mentally to actually watch Sadie sing, like to watch her relationship play out the way that she wrote it, the way that she, you know, from the manuscript to the screen, like for her to sit there and call cut and call action and all of that, to actually see it happening, to see somebody playing you in some of your most pivotal, darkest moments, like
Outer body experience.
that's got to be crazy.
So she's watching the actors hitting their marks. When she's talking about the slow dance, is that dancing in the refrigerator light?
I think so.
Yeah. I also think it's interesting. Of course, we touched on the age gap between Dylan O'Brien and Sadie Sink, but also the choices Dylan O'Brien made in his romantic life, like the rumors, obviously, but like there were a lot of like rumors that, like, first I think he was spotted with like Gracie, and then it was Sabrina, who are all significantly younger than him.
Oh, really?
And I do remember when this was all happening, a lot of people were like, yeah, method acting to a whole new level, I guess.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's great. And the tears fell in synchronicity with the score.
I think that's my favorite line.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And at last, she knew what the agony had been for. So she went through all that pain and suffering and heartache to make this beautiful piece of art.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
10 years later, she's like, oh,
And I
Here we
wonder,
are.
I wonder if she shares that sentiment, not just when she was actually putting together the short film, but also when she's performing it on the Eras tour. You know, like we all say that that's the most therapeutic experience, to sing All Too Well in a stadium full of Swifties. And so I wonder if in that moment too, she's like, this was what it was for. You know, like my pain helped others realize their pain. I saw a funny post the other day that said, Taylor Swift performing All Too Well 10-minute version did more for women than the 11-minute space trip from like, you know, that they were like, this is Katy Perry in space, and they were like, this is for women, and it was like 10 minutes long, and they're like, All Too Well 10-minute version did more for women than that.
I love that so much.
Oh, the shade.
I know, but it's true.
Yeah. It's been a rough few weeks for those ladies. And now we go to the outro. We're getting towards the end here. The only thing that's left is the manuscript. It's real slow at this point.
And this is when she
Really
starts
drops down.
And she reverts back to, not reverts back, but now she switches to first person.
The only thing that's left is the manuscript. One last souvenir from my trip to your shores. Now and then I reread the manuscript, but the story isn't mine anymore. So when I hear that, okay, manuscript, it's something written, something that she's reading. And then you think about Dear Reader. In Dear Reader, she's kind of like warning people, hey, whatever, you can take what I say for granted. You can do what I say, not as I do kind of thing in Dear Reader. And then she has this other thing where she's kind of reflecting back at something that's written also, and she's reading what she wrote.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's just an interesting way for two different albums.
Yeah.
Definitely.
About reading.
And some people think the last souvenir from my trip to your shores, she traveled the world doing the Eras Tour and then released the Eras Tour book. And that's something that we have in our hands that we can go back and look at time and time again, that we're probably never going to get another Eras Tour. She could change it up. She can do whatever, but that's still the manuscript that we have, all the memories that we made, and then her actual photos and stuff in the Eras Tour book.
And I think I'm in denial about that.
There's never going to be another Eras Tour.
Yeah.
You know what? In 30 years, she'll make a tour where she's playing some hits, and we'll all go together.
But it won't be the Eras Tour.
It won't be the Eras Tour, but she'll do something.
There was just such a magic about the Eras Tour, the time that it happened, the way that she did it, in the process of owning her music, like it just, everything about it worked, and I don't think it'll ever happen again in that capacity for any other artist, at least not in our lifetime.
Man, and what a perfect time for her to do such a big tour. It's right after COVID. People are itching to get out, and it becomes the biggest tour ever. Like timing, content, the spectacle of it, everything was perfect.
Everything. And now even I feel like touring artists now, I think, are also trying to figure out a way, not to recreate the Eras Tour, but there was so much hype behind every single piece of Eras Tour, like the surprise songs, the outfit changes, things like that, that even though we went, we were tuning in every single time to see what she was going to do. And I feel like artists are trying to kind of incorporate that themselves by like, okay, do I add covers? Do I add, like, how can I keep people interested? Because she kept people interested for 2 entire years.
And it's kind of like whenever someone has a viral video and then everyone tries to recreate that viral video, but it's never as good as the original one.
Exactly.
And at times it seems a little pathetic and sad that you're trying to do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
When she ends the story, when she ends the song, but the story isn't mine anymore, is that her saying that chapter's closed, I've moved on, it's not going to affect me anymore?
I kind of think of it as like...
It's like a clean, like now, hey, I'm clean of this. We're done.
In a way. I think Lacey said it at the beginning of the episode, but I feel like it's kind of this shared sentiment that she said on tour when she would perform. And she was like, I wrote these songs at a time in my life, but when you hear them, I want you to think about this moment, about being together in this performance at this tour. Like, I think she wants to replace the bad memories with the good memories of performing with her fans. That's how I take it. And I think that was something that Lacey said earlier.
And she's touched on this since the Reputation tour. Like, in the Reputation Stadium tour movie, right before she plays All Too Well, not only does she mention, like, the outfits and the writing lyrics on the Hands and the 13s, but she does say, I had a hard time playing my old music, and that was actually Dallas's surprise song. So surprise songs are not a new thing for her,
right?
And she had guests on the last tour, like she would bring, she's always thinking next level and how to make this different, and you can definitely tell that.
Exactly. And so she said that, like, the fans love and seeing how much, like, catharsis and, like, relief that song brought the fans is what redefined her relationship with that song.
Yeah.
So I think, like, she's been saying this since 2018, and now revisiting it so many years later after having the 10-minute version, after having all the memories of it, after 25 hours straight, like, all of the time that she's played All Too Well is 25 hours.
That's crazy.
Full day of performing All Too Well, now again being able to look back and it's probably redefined the relationship she has with that song again.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's really interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
What do we do next? This is it.
I don't know.
We don't. She hasn't announced a new album
As of
at
yet.
the time of this recording.
At the
so
time
I
of this
don't know.
recording,
What
yeah.
do we do now?
She
I'm
has
lost.
not, but that doesn't keep people from theorizing what is going on. So let's hear from a couple of those.
Yeah.
Annie Lawrence says on Instagram says that this is hinting at a movie. Taylor Nation.
Did Taylor Nation just give us a nod towards the next Eras Tour film? Because yesterday they made a post releasing these new wallpapers, and every photo that they shared is quite ironically from the Tortured Poets set of the Eras Tour. But what most caught my attention from this post that they made was the seemingly random slide at the very end. This is a video of Taylor greeting fans during the Eras Tour film premiere. And as we know, there's been quite a lot of filming evidence at the end of the Eras Tour to point towards probably a documentary or some sort of other Eras Tour film. So with all of the Tortured Poets photos and this video of Taylor greeting fans at the Eras Tour film premiere, is this Taylor Nation's way of telling us to keep our eyes open for possibly this happening again? I've never met Taylor. I know so many of us have never met Taylor, and I really hope that something like this does happen.
Yeah, it could. They're doing something with that footage.
I thought that was odd.
100%.
Yeah.
Because they were on stage. Like for
Right.
the Tortured
Yeah. Oh,
Poets.
yeah.
And like they refilmed that entire movie.
Yeah, and we've seen when she was getting off stage, there was like a whole camera crew and stuff. So
And the first time that they were filming on stage, that ended up in the Eras Tour movie that was released in theaters. It's now on Disney. Like when she was in LA, they were filming
Yeah.
a bunch of stuff. So we've seen the result of that footage. But the new footage they were filming at the complete end of the Eras Tour,
when are
they're
we going
doing
to see?
they're cooking something up with it.
I wonder when we'll see that, because
But it is also possible that they're filming. They don't know what they're going to do with it.
Right.
But they're filming it to have it.
I
We'll figure it out later.
still think that there will be a docuseries of some sort. Not that I just want it because I've said it a million times on the podcast, but I do think that there will be something documenting the entire Taylor's version process, because there was also camera crews at the All Too Well short film premiere. You know, like we have seen that there is documentation, professional documentation of this of the last 4 years. What if we're featured in it?
Maybe.
Because our podcast has been going on for 4 years. What if there's a clip of us being like, "Hi,
God, I hope
Taylor,
not.
we love you.
Taylor, we love you."
What's Taylor going to do next?
It's actually, there's just a whole episode of the docuseries dedicated to answering all of the questions that you had.
It just goes one by one through like, what's on your charcuterie board? And Taylor's like, to answer your question, I would die.
And then she actually tells y'all where Philly is, as opposed to Travis.
Sweet callback.
I love it. I love it.
Can you imagine what the bidding war between all the streaming services will be for whatever she's doing with this new footage of the
Oh
Eras
my
Tour?
goodness.
How much is Disney versus Max versus Netflix versus Prime? How much will they pay for
I
this?
do think she still owes Disney something.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Because
Yeah.
we thought it would be Evermore, Long Pond, but that never happened.
Yeah.
Yet.
True.
We
just
still-
like
just like
this
us.
Yeah. And I don't think she'll go with Netflix again after the
Yeah.
Jenny and George. I don't
Yeah,
think Netflix is on
True.
the table. But
Table. I agree.
It's ridiculous. Swifties are ridiculous.
I love it. Swifties are not all ridiculous, Nick Adams, because we're going to hear from our boy Vinny, the Swiftie, who came up with this on TikTok, and you already know I'm here for it.
Yes, we fully need to talk about this. How Mastermind is the technical end of the Eras Tour, and Karma being the encore alludes that it's the next era that we're about to jump into. So this is the Mastermind bow. She takes a bow, of course performs Karma, then they take the Karma bow as a crew with this orange and yellow fireworks going off in the background consistently. But this from Taylor Nation, end of an era. The start of an age. Pink jacket, orange fireworks at the exact same time. This audio, this outfit, these fireworks are all 100% on purpose. Just like she said, it's the end of an era, but the start of an age. See you next era. We are going into a new one. Which again shows me that Mastermind closes out the Eras Tour. Karma comes in as an encore, alluding that this is going to be the next era. Because she bows after Mastermind, closing out the eras, and then she bows after Karma, getting us ready for this next era. Choo-choo, all aboard the Kumquat Chaos Karma train. Anybody else hopping on? Let's go.
Yes.
But that's interesting because she bows, and then that next song is like an encore that she's doing. So are we coming into Karma? Is Karma finally going to come back around?
Well, and that also reminds me of the Eras Tour book, like on the first page that has like the orange and pinkish background from the opening, and it's when she wrote "See You Next Era."
Yeah,
I'm excited. It's always incredible to be a Swiftie.
Yeah,
and this is the end of our Tortured Poets era.
Sure is. And so after this, our next episode is going to be ranking.
Our traditional
rankings. And
it's going to be a bloodbath.
It's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. Will our rankings fall as people would expect they would?
And you know what? I'm really interested because we all know each other very well, where we can kind of guess how our rankings go. So I'm excited to hear Saahir's rankings.
Yeah.
Because he's going to stick around for another episode.
Yes. Yeah, I'm I'm scared because rankings get very
brutal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And so I'm interested because I think I'm surprised at my own rankings. Like, I went back to like see my Spotify history and also just what I like. And yeah, there's a lot that I like, because me and my friends send each other our initial rankings like the first week, especially because all of the songs we had to process. So I looked at that and I compared it to my current ranking, and I'm like, wow, a lot has changed.
Isn't it the best?
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Real quick, before we go, I want to encourage our listeners to join us over in the Lobster Lounge, station.page/13. I see a really cool person in the Lobster Lounge right now. His name's Saahir, and he said, my favorite part of the show is the hotline callers. So not on this episode, but next one, I will deliver some callers. But join us. It's our little safe space for lobsters over at the Lobster Lounge, station.page/13. We love hearing from everybody there, so go join.
If you haven't already, subscribe to us on whatever podcasting platform you're listening to us on right now. All the ways to contact us are in the description of this podcast, including our phone number, our email, our website. Hit us up if you would like to add anything that we missed or critique the show. Please get in contact with us. And you can do all that in the description of this podcast. Join us next time because we are going to be breaking down our rankings of the Tortured Poets department.
Thanks for listening to 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. Subscribe for free and leave a positive review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.